Steph? Are you up yet? You want me to make some breakfast? You all right? Steph? I'll get it. What's going on?
Chaz is letting us have good rides in her wheelchair, and it's my go next.
Oh, after breakfast. Right, you two, go and get washed while I start cooking. We seem to have won them round.
They're great kids.
Probably a good idea to get rid of some of that energy. They wear Dad out sometimes.
What do you mean?
I said we'd take him up to see him later.
Oh, it's just when I thought things were going well.
What's the problem?
Well, getting them on side's one thing, but I doubt if your dad'll approve of the way I look after his grandchildren.
Stop worrying. It's going to be fine.
I'm glad you called around, Betty. I wanted to thank you for helping Steph. She needs all the friends she can get right now.
Well, I'm just glad she's decided to stay and face things out. It won't be easy, though. How's she taking it all?
Well, she seemed in good spirits when I left. Unfortunately, I had to work late at the hospital, so she was in bed by the time I got back.
She's usually up and about by now.
Well, her new guests don't arrive until tonight. And it's been an emotional time for her, so I expect she needs the rest.
Well, perhaps you'd tell her I called. Oh, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Well, you don't look it.
I didn't sleep very well last night.
I'm not surprised. Did you talk to your brother?
We've decided that it's best if we stay clear of each other.
Grange Bed and Breakfast, hello.
Morning, Dad.
Morning. Betty not about?
No, she's up and out with the lark. But I was pleased. Gives me a chance to make you breakfast.
I don't want to put you to any trouble.
It's no trouble. I do it every day when we've got a place of our own. Now I was thinking sausage, eggs, bacon.
Ages since I've had any fried potatoes.
I always say a little of what you fancy does you good.
Yes, exactly. Can't do any harm.
Tell me about what happened when you talked to Terence.
I'd rather not discuss it if you don't mind, Betty.
Did you upset you?
He's starting a new job. I've got guests arriving. I'm rather hoping we're going to be too busy to get in each other's way.
If you say so.
And I've certainly got better things to do than stand here gossiping about him.
Your dad'll be expecting his breakfast by now, anyway.
There's no need to snap at her. She was only worried about you.
After more gossip, more like. I wish the pair of you had stopped fussing. I'm fine.
You tuck in. I put a bit of fried bread on the side, just how you used to like it.
Betty won't let me touch it.
Well, you won't have to worry about her soon. Have you done anything about raising the finance yet?
Well, I need to talk to my financial advisor next week about remortgaging the B&B.
Well, maybe you should hurry things along a bit.
I don't see why. I'm in no rush to get rid of your dad.
We don't want to miss our chance.
I haven't heard about anyone else bidding. And you know what they say about doing things in haste and repenting at leisure.
That's marriage.
It's the same difference. You shouldn't be eating all this fried stuff.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Lighten up a bit, Betty. Gosh, I'm not surprised Dad's thinking of moving out if you're going to be nagging him all the time.
I'm not nagging him. I'm trying to look after his health.
Well, I'm here to do that now. So you can stop worrying.
And it was lovely to see you, Owen. Oh, OK. No, that's all right. I'll speak to her. He was no trouble at all, Susan. Yes, of course. Bye.
Did he say anything to her?
Not yet. But before it all blows up again, I think we ought to book our seats out there. As soon as Susan gives her permission.
I just hope we can afford it.
Well, we've got to find the money somehow. I am not going to lose touch with my grandson again.
He did say we can get some cheap flights on the internet.
Getting everything ready for your new guests.
Oh, I need some food for tomorrow's breakfast. Would you come to the shop with me?
I'm sorry, I've got to go into the health centre.
Oh. But it's Sunday. Couldn't you give it a miss?
They're running a breast cancer awareness clinic. I promised I'd attend.
Okay.
It's not a problem, is it?
I just wanted a bit of company, that's all.
I'll be home as early as I can.
Good morning, Mr. Matthew.
What's good about it? I've just waited half an hour searching for the correspondence on the Arnhem contract.
In the filing cabinet.
It's not there. You must have lost it.
I have told you before, I do not lose things. I file them away. At least I did before you decided to reorganise the entire office system.
I need it now. And if you're half as efficient as you claim, it won't take you a minute to find it.
Well, go on, I shall follow you. On the Sabbath.
Go on, let's have it. Go on. Right, where do you want it?
On my head.
Where?
On my head.
On you what?
On my head.
Oh, and again, one more. Ready? Oh, go on, let's have it. Go on. Hey! Look before you step out, Steph.
Planning a holiday?
Oh, was hoping to. We found some flights, but the hotels are a lot dearer than we thought. Didn't know it was going to be such a dear do.
Oh, Simon, your mum left a scarf in the bar last night.
Oh. Cheers. I'll pop by later and pick it up.
I'm sure we could save up enough by next year.
I don't want to wait that long. There must be some way we can raise the money. We'll have an economy drive.
Well, it's not as if we're big spenders, as it is.
Yeah, we'll cut back to the bare essentials. No more Sunday roast after today. We can have macaroni cheese.
Told you it wasn't there.
Well, if people had let me do my job, it would be.
Oh, so now you're trying to shift the blame onto someone else?
It's not about blame. You've changed. You seem really stressed since Sadie left.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I just thought you might be missing her, that's all.
Wanting the office to run smoothly has nothing to do with Sadie, and my feelings are none of your business.
Well, I apologise if I've spoken out of turn. It's here, underneath the Sunday papers. Did I hear you say something?
No.
Oh, I thought I might have heard you say I'm sorry for snapping at you for my own mistake, Mrs. Birch. Obviously not. I expect that common courtesy is considered old-fashioned these days.
Can I help you?
No, I'm fine.
Hope Deliverance, bringing hope to your door. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, we'll put it in tomorrow. That was just Aldred. We forgot his angling magazine. He's always moaning about something. Not like your brother. Bet you're delighted he's decided to stay in the village. Plays the piano, too. I was thinking of asking him to play at the wedding. Do you reckon he'd do it?
I don't know. Why didn't you ask him?
Getting ready for a candlelit dinner for two?
Hey, she hasn't paid for that lot.
I'm so sorry. Here, look. I hope that covers it.
Hey, where's the fire?
Come and stand and talk to me, please.
Has he been threatening you?
No?
I think you better tell me what's been going on. Come on.
Morning, Mr. King.
Oh, Edna. I'm glad I bumped into you. I was wondering, how are things at the office without me? Jimmy knuckling down, is he?
I haven't seen much of him lately.
How about Matthew?
He has a very different style of management to you.
Sounds like you don't like it very much.
It's not my place to comment. Maybe it's time I was thinking of retiring anyway.
Well, the office wouldn't be the same without you.
I doubted Mr. Matthew would share your opinion. Now, if you'll excuse me, I mustn't be late for church.
Oh, look at the state he's got you in.
I'll be fine, Betty.
Not if things go on like this. Maybe it's time I had a word.
I'd rather you didn't.
I don't understand you.
It's my fault, you see, Betty. He always got angry when I threatened to tell.
You've got a right to stand up for yourself.
I did it once, and look where it got me. And Terence is right. If my dad finds out, well, it could kill him. I couldn't have that on my conscience.
It still doesn't mean he can go on bullying you.
No, he won't. When he knows I won't say any more, he won't. I'll just try to avoid him.
Which means that you're still letting him blackmail you into keeping your mouth shut.
It's better that way, Betty. I wish I'd never told anyone in the first place.
Well, I'm impressed. I've never seen anyone stretch 20 quid so far.
Yeah, she's been making a bit of a habit of getting plastered lately.
Well, she was acting on instructions. Nicola told her to make herself scarce so you two could have a romantic evening.
Oh, well, I suppose if that's what it takes, can't really complain.
Well, it was hardly romance, was it? I mean, she had to pay to get rid of her.
Chaz is great. She gave us rides in her wheelchair. I went really fast.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I hope you don't think that I'm leading him to bad ways.
Quite the opposite. I'm seriously impressed. You've even managed to get them to sit down for a meal. Save your energy till you get up to home farm. I've got acres for you to run around in there.
Get some of that luncheon meat and those beans, they're on special offer.
Yeah.
On an economy drive, then?
Setting up for a trip to Hong Kong.
Owen's asked us out there to see him. Oh, guess everything must have gone well, then. The boy seemed a bit anxious when he spoke to me.
Oh, that's all sorted now.
Oh, glad to hear it.
Indigestion.
Yeah, my fault, I'm afraid. I rather bolted my breakfast this morning. I couldn't help it. It was one of my favourites.
Well, Betty been treating you?
Oh, hardly. She's been keeping me on the straight and narrow since I got out of hospital. But Terence is in charge of the catering today.
He spoils you.
I can't tell you, it's really cheered me up having him back here.
Well, I'm not surprised. Everyone seems to like him, except Steph.
What do you mean?
Well, she had one of her funny turns as soon as she saw him today. They don't get on very well, do they?
Smells good. What is it? Baked bean loaf. Oh. They've reprinted this old wartime cookbook. Simon can't complain on wasting money. They know how to eat cheaply in the Blitz.
And all these years later, and we're back in the same boat.
I'm cooking us a Sunday dinner for less than a £5.
Oh, another cut price special. Just like your DVD evening.
I thought you enjoyed it.
I did. Till I found out it was all a cheat. You didn't add the 20 quid you bribed me mum to the evening's bill. Just like you didn't add the $10.99 for the cookbook. Oh, you couldn't save money if you tried.
Viv said there was some trouble between you and Steph.
Oh, it was nothing. Nothing to worry about.
Well, people are beginning to notice you don't get on.
A lot of people don't get on with Steph, Dad. That's no big deal.
Yes, but if she's going to start spreading nasty rumours about you, I think I ought to talk to her.
No, don't do that. You know how she always upsets you.
Yeah, it's not me I'm worried about. Mud sticks. I want you to be able to settle here.
Well, I don't think Steph would say anything if certain people weren't encouraging her.
Oh, you mean Adam?
It's not just him. Someone a bit closer to home's been stirring things up.
Betty?
I didn't want to tell you. But I think Steph was ready to admit that she'd got it all wrong until Betty stuck her oar in. She told Steph that she believed everything she said and that she shouldn't let it drop.
Why would Betty interfere like that?
I don't know. I thought she was supposed to be your friend.
Yeah, so did I.
They've really taken to Chaz. Hey, how's Colleen now that she's back on the scene?
I haven't actually told her yet.
Well, perhaps I'd better have a word with her. See if I can smooth things over for you.
Thanks, Dad. Right, we're ready to go.
Thanks for having us, Grandad.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, now that the stables are up and running, you can go riding next time. I'd just like you to know that you're welcome up here any time, Chaz.
Betty's been very kind. She took me in after all the trouble I had.
Well, then she ought to know what Steph's capable of.
Yes, I would think so. But Betty and I have had our difficulties too. She said some rather unkind things after Seth died.
Maybe she started to resent you.
Sorry I've been a while. But I had to do a bit of shopping for Steph.
Well, I thought she could do her own.
She's a bit nervous at the moment.
I hope she hasn't been taking advantage of your good nature.
She just needs to feel that there's people she can rely on.
You have changed your tune, Betty. The time was when you didn't have a good word to say about her.
You should be pleased, seeing as she's your flesh and blood.
Well, I hope you extend the same goodwill to my son.
You know me, Alan. I speak as I find.
Simon will probably tell me that I should be making instant coffee because Filty's too expensive.
I know he's been irritable. He's just worried about managing on the money.
Well, so am I. But it doesn't stop me liking nice things. And I hate scrimping and saving.
Guess you'll both just have to get used to it.
Why? I've told him my business is doing well. He ought to be pleased that I want to treat him. I'm sure he'd want to spoil me if he had some extra. Just don't see why he has to be so petty about everything.
I think I'll take Charlie for another walk.
There's no need.
Could both do the exercise.
He's only trying to help. Maybe he wouldn't want to go out if you made him feel a bit more at home.
I invited him into my house for your sake.
Are you beginning to regret it?
Well, you must admit it has caused problems.
Yeah, well, that's not his fault.
It's a matter of opinion.
And you have told Steph that you believe her story.
Who told you that?
Terence, are you going to deny it?
I admit I have doubts.
Is that why you've been gossiping about my son?
I have said nothing to anyone outside your family.
Well, after what he's told me, I find that very hard to believe.
So you're calling me a liar? Steph was right. You will always believe him above anyone else.
Well, I think we deserve a celebration.
Feel more like drowning my sorrows.
Why? Things are going brilliantly. Dad's starting to come round and the kids think you're great.
That's just it. Everybody else's kids always like me. Aaron hates me guts.
I'm sure that's not true.
Trust me. Every time I try and make things better, it just seems to push us further apart.
How long since you've seen him?
Too long.
Well, why don't you ask him to come and stay here for a while?
You fancy living in a battle zone?
It won't be like that. You help me with my kids, I'll help you with yours.
I know she's done some terrible things, but, you know, I'm beginning to wonder if there isn't a reason for that.
The reason is in her mind. I'm sorry she's turned out the way she has, and I'll do what I can to help, but I will not let it ruin the relationship with my son.
No, I'm just suggesting that you take time to think things over before you rush into anything.
What on earth's that supposed to mean?
Well, you must admit, it's a bit sudden. Remortgaging the B&B, setting up house together.
What is more natural than a father and son being reunited?
Be honest with yourself. You haven't seen him for years, and he certainly hasn't turned out like you expected.
Well, he's had a few problems with drink, that's all. I understand that. We should be trying to help get him back on his feet.
Cards on the table, Alan. I'm not just worried about Steph. I am worried about you. There is something not quite right with Terence.
How dare you?
I'm just trying to stop you from making a big mistake.
The mistake I've made is trusting you. The sooner Terence and I get out of here, the better.